Well, we got a couple of things in the NBA that are interesting. Most notably, the Phoenix Suns had Booker and KD and Bradley Beal, and now you're hearing stuff on a hot mic that nobody likes anybody. Woj reporting there's issues in Phoenix. Rick Bucher joins us live. So give people a little insight. I'm shocked. I didn't know Bradley Beal was this banged up. I thought he'd be more available. Like, what do you hear about KD supporting cast comments on his teammates?
Well, let's face it. This was a team that was put together with stars in mind, and then let's backfill everything else. And it's just not a well-constructed team. The names are a lot more exciting than the actual composition of it. And so the tell for me was watching the game yesterday, and there was a dribble handoff between KD and Grayson Allen. Ball ended up going out of bounds, and as KD is running back, the cameras catch him saying, "every damn time." So I was not surprised at all by Woj's report. High expectations for this team, and they clearly haven't met those. And perhaps the scariest part of this, Colin, is that they have played the easiest schedule in the NBA, and they're struggling to stay above 500. It gets brutal from mid-January on. And so it's not going to get easier. But I look, who's their offensive orchestrator? Who is their defensive backbone? Those are two elements that they don't have here. And while we could say that they backfilled the supporting cast, the reality is I'm not seeing a whole lot of leadership from KD or Devin Booker. And obviously, Bradley Beal is MIA.
So the Lakers against top teams are struggling. I do feel like when Westbrook didn't work, they brought in Rui and Jared Vanderbilt, and I thought it was a Band-Aid to a bigger issue. They still lack, to me, twitchiness, wing athletic ability, but I do think Rob Pelinka got credit, justifiably so, for kind of solving the Westbrook piece. They were bigger and longer and better, but it didn't make them great. Don't they have to make a move here?
Yeah, but at this point, I mean, how many times do you go back to the drawer and you pull something out, you switch it out, and then there's only so many times you can do that and actually make improvement. And let's face it, the thing that you're talking about, which I agree with, which is you need athletic two-way wing defenders. They're just short on that.
Yes.
They're loaded with big men.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is if you're going to play LeBron and AD, how are you going to use Rui Hachimura? He's a power forward. How are you going to use Christian Wood? How are you going to use Jackson Hayes? So they have all these bigs, and now they don't have guys who can match up with those wings. So if you're going to play quality teams, you have to be able to defend the three, and you have to be able to shoot it. And those are two things that they don't do very well. And bottom line, if they don't get to the free throw line allows them to set their defense. It allows them to score easy points. If a team can defend them without fouling, then they are in the driver's seat. They attempt 27 free throws in their wins, 21 in their losses. That's a huge disparity. And the difference between the number of free throws that they take and their opponents take is the largest in the league.
Okay, Draymond Green, NBA's like therapy needed. What do you make of that story and Draymond going forward for the Warriors?
Oh, man. One kind of innocent comment by Yusuf Nurkic. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Rudy Gobert saying the same thing. I'll tell you what's wrong with Draymond Green. He's 6'6" and 230 pounds, and he's made a living playing 7-foot 300-pounders. You have to play with an edge. You have to have a little bit crazy and try to find a way to intimidate. There is nothing different about Draymond Green today than there was 8-10 years ago when he came into the league. The difference is he's not quite as good, and the Warriors are not quite as good, and he has been frustrated with trying to figure out a way to make all of this work. So I would expect the challenge for him coming back is going to be there's sort of a target on his back now. He's always had to play, though, with this certain amount of how do I create an intimidation factor because I'm the smaller guy. He's usually been very smart about it. I expect that he will be smart about it when he comes back. I just wonder, like, how are they going to make this work? Largely because the Warriors just aren't as good as they used to be.
That's right.
And I think a lot of the frustration is coming out with that. They expect to still be playing for championships, and they're struggling to meet that bar.
All right, Rick Bucher, NBA stuff. Good seeing you as always, buddy, up against it, and we'll talk soon.